So now that you've left the federal government in your most recent position, you are here in Henry County
Yes.
working with all of the Democratic Party.
Yes.
What do you do as a chairman?
Oh, well, you've got a, you've
What
actually,
don't you do?
yeah, you've got an awful lot of hats that you wear, and it's interesting because when I was the chair from 2011 to 2013, the role has changed. In 2011 and 2013, we were really trying to establish the Democratic Party as a viable organization in
Right.
Henry County. Um, we were more of a social club than anything else. So the emphasis was on building the party, on finding good candidates that would run for office, supporting them, help develop their platforms, their strategies, all those type of things. Excuse me. In 2020, we've qualified, 17 candidates, probably 10 more than we ever did before. I've
Right.
got questions about a couple of those, but, we've now got, um, when I was here in 2011, we had one Democratic person in a countywide office. Now we've got five, and, we've got at least seven people just running for sheriff.
Right.
So the role has changed. Now that I'm not with the federal government, I can be more engaged in fundraising because that was a role that I couldn't play with the federal government. Um, I will be focused this time more on working with those candidates that are legitimate Democrats. Um, I need to make sure that when I'm looking at candidates, that I'm looking at candidates to support the Democratic platform, the Democratic philosophy. That's very, very important. We are a big tent organization. We want everybody. So I need to make sure that we're, pushing candidates that are philosophically in line with where the party is at, to get them to work in a coordinated fashion, for us to support them in a coordinated fashion, for us to emphasize the school board races, which we didn't do when I was the chair before. 50% of the county's money is spent by the school board. I asked that question at the last Democratic meeting, and no one, the only one that knew that was Dr. Donna McBride, and that's because she used to be on the school board.
Right.
So it's incredibly important. The Board of Commissioners address more of a range of functions, but from a pure resource execution perspective, the school board oversees the execution of more funds than anybody.
Right.
So we will be looking at ways to support candidates who are philosophically aligned with the Democratic Party, to see them succeed. Where there are multiple candidates, like there are in the second, that we believe are in line with our philosophy, we'll let those candidates essentially duke it out. But in a couple of those districts, particularly the first and the third, there's only one that we know that's aligned with our principles. So we'll be looking for ways to support them, something we didn't do before. We will do much more of an outreach with the black businesses and the black churches that we did before. One of the concerns before was they didn't want to be seen as partisan. But we would like to see them encourage voter registration, and we would like them to participate and get out the vote activities. And those aren't partisan activities,
That's right.
but let's just say I like my chances when we're talking about black businesses getting black citizens in Henry County registered and getting them to the polls. So that's something that we will be working on doing. I will be doing a lot more outreach to like-minded organizations so that we are working in a coordinated fashion. Uh, um, I'm a big believer in cooperative operations. We had talked about this earlier. Um, I'm not an elected official, but I'm the bridge to the elected officials and the citizens of Henry County for them to understand what those elected officials are doing and to understand why it's important to support the party, because we think what the party stands for is what average everyday citizens stand for.
So now that you say that, I'm an average everyday citizen, and I want to know, what does the party stand for?
We are, the Democratic Party stands for everyday people and working people. We believe that everyone should have an equal opportunity to achieve the American dream. And we understand at the end of the day, having said that, that there are different needs for different people. We believe in quality education for everybody, particularly poor kids, that should have that same opportunity as anybody else. We believe in people being paid a fair day's pay for a fair day's wages. We believe that just because you were born a female, you shouldn't be paid less than a male. We believe in the opportunity for everybody to have access to quality health care. We believe in everybody having the opportunity to participate in our democracy, the core principle of which is the ability to vote. Um, we're big advocates in making sure that people aren't capriciously removed from the registration rolls,
Right.
that they have the opportunity to vote, that they know where to vote, they know how to vote, and more importantly, we like to educate the Henry County citizens on who we think are the best candidates to vote for. But we be very, very strongly, and that process being as open and as fair and as honest to everybody that can possibly do it. We want to see more people early vote. We would love to see them go back to, voting on Sunday, the old souls to the polls. We're big believers in everybody having the opportunity to participate in the process. With respect to Henry County, we're big fans of a diverse economy. We're big fans of making sure that there's equity on how school board resources are allocated. We're big fans on seeing the county take an active role in addressing the traffic issue, which is horrific for all of Henry County, north and south. We're big fans of making sure that everybody has access to all the resources. And we're also big fans in making sure that all the citizens of Henry County are safe.
Right.
Because we're big fans of public safety. We're big fans of an equal access to public safety for all the citizens in Henry County. And we are really encouraged by the fact that once we got a Democrat in the office as district attorney, he now runs unopposed, not because he's a great guy, which he is. He's just a great district attorney.
That's right.
And he's brought things to the county that we've never had, youth recidivism,
Yes.
And certain youth programs to keep people out of the system and give them an opportunity to turn their lives around. See, we've never had that before. But these are things that the Democratic Party stands for. So we think that if we can get more Democrats elected, we can make this county more fair, more open, and more prosperous for all the citizens of Harry County.